Hello, my name is Mauricio, and this is my egg drop project. The purpose of this project is to successfully catch an egg without breaking from 6 feet. This structure must be only made of straws, and tape must be used to connect the joints only. And we have to minimize this structure as much as possible, and a limit of 50 to 100 straws should be used, no more than 100. Only 100 if we're needed. This was my sketch design. I went with the hexagonal cone prism-like design, or that's what I think it's called. As we can see here, my design concluded of these two rows that I call rows. This is the top view of it, which measured about 7 and 5/8 inches. As we can see here, this is the cone that I designed. Uh, a hexagon cone specifically must have 6 sides. That's what I chose. That was, I thought, the easiest choice to go with, and I chose straws to go across it, through it. As we can see here in the side view, the structure from the base up to the rows were about 3 inches, and we can see here that the cone design goes kind of under this, and the legs right here, as we can see, 2 legs is what you can see here, but it's actually 4. And this is the 3D view I kind of drew. As we can see here, there's 1, 2, 3 legs, and the hexagonal prism cone design I made, and the straws go in between that. And yeah, that's it for my sketch design. The materials for this prototype are straws and tape. 40 straws total is what I estimated, and about 200 centimeters of tape is what I estimated also. This is how my prototype came out. As we can see here, I made I made these triangle straws. I just used one single straw and made them into like a triangle type. And then these are the rows or columns I was talking about, which I put 8 and made into a circle, and the legs, and then I had a straw through the middle, so you can see, and taped all together. During my testing, my first one, which was this one, as you can see, the structure I chose worked, but I found it to be too bouncy. In this second one, that wasn't a successful. It wasn't a successful run, so we can see the egg bounced out. So this structure was a little too bouncy. The elastic deformation that we can see here, as we can see right here, it caused, as soon as the egg landed and bounced back, the whole structure will bounce back up. So yeah, and in this one, as we can see here, also the same thing will happen, but instead of the structure, which also bounced, the egg came out. So the testing worked, but depending on how it was thrown, but it still needed a bit more improvement. So my final design materials were 38 straws and about also 20 centimeters of tape. As you can see here, these were the cones I was talking about, the triangles I was talking about, which I used only one straw, and I used 12 of these, one for the bottom and some for the top. I just didn't include it in here. The 2 straws that will go across the structure in between these triangles. And these were the 8 straws I used, which I taped up on each side. And I used 2 of them, so that was about 8 straws on just the rows or columns, as I called, and the tape I used. And these straws were also, these were the legs of the straws, so, which I also made this type of trapezoid design. More trapezoid, these are more triangle like. This was my final design. As you can see here, this design came out better, was more neatly done, and the biggest improvement I did was this. I made like a type of circle. I used right here. Before that, I had a straw going through the middle, and I realized that that straw just made the structure too bouncy. As you can see back here, I had this before that, and this was causing the structure to be really bouncy, as we can see. So instead, I did this, and I implemented these on the side, which I taped up right here. But this was before you see. And instead of taping the edges, I taped them to this side, I guess. And this has made the egg land way better than before, since it captured the egg like deep. As we can see here in the final result, the structure didn't move as much. Actually, as you can see right here, the structure tried to move, tried to bounce, but like it just bounced back down, so the structure didn't move as much. And it was thanks to that. It was thanks to taking the straw that I had in the middle beforehand. So I think that worked out pretty well. And I also try to give it more of a trapezoid, a hexagonal design. Like I didn't include a picture here, but it was much better done than the first one. And the analysis, the structure was minimized as much as possible. It successfully caught the egg without breaking from 6 feet. We saw elastic deformation happen as the structure returned back to its shape. Repairs, I didn't have to do no repairs to the structure since it handled well, as we can see here. If anything, all I had to do is just stretch the structure back, but besides that, the structure handled really well. I think the legs also worked out pretty well, and the cone overall was pretty good. And this upper part was also helpful, since in case the egg bounced, it was able to like touch one of the edges to bring the egg back down. So that was also really helpful. My conclusion is that the deformation analysis structure showed that the structure was effective in catching the egg from 6 feet, and I even tried it up to 10 feet, which also worked. It was just a bit hard to aim, but the structure did work up to 10 feet, and I gave it I used about 12 eggs. I used each egg till I cracked it by accident, but structure wise, every time it landed, the egg didn't crack, so it was overall good. Thank you.